Hey everyone, Anthony here with another episode of The Bloody Point. Today we're going to cover a topic that is of interest to pretty much everyone, and that is the different horse speeds. In common parlance in game, they're referred to as gears, but technically they are gaits. Horses in the real world have 5 gaits. In Mortal Online they have 4 actually, which will be a surprise to some of you. So starting off, the first gait we have is known as the walk, which is a gait that consumes no stam and uses, or rather moves you at a very low speed. There are 3 things which impacts a horse's speed: the gaits, of course, the type of horse, and the weight. Second gear or gait for a horse is known as the trot. For a step horse, this will consume no stamina. Then we have what is known as third gear, or the canter, also known as the lope. This will consume a small amount of stamina. Now, as you can see, my horse has horse bags and horse armor, and I have items in the bags. The weight contributed by these items will affect the speed. So I will stop here in a moment and remove the armor, and you will notice a difference in the resulting speed. Now, as I mentioned, there are 3 factors which influence a horse's speed. There are 5 types of horses. There is the Jotun, the steppe, the desert, the jungle, and the mongrel. I'll have a future video doing some comparisons directly on how these move in terms of their speed and stamina usage, because it is different in the various gears or gaits. So here you see I have removed the horse armor, and if you compare it to the previous speed, it is slightly higher. These details are really important when you are traveling in the world and when you are initiating in mounted combat. You know, if you need to be able to determine quickly if you can escape somebody or if you can catch them, and knowing whether you should turn and fight or how to manage your stamina is really important. Stamina management in this game, whether it's while being mounted or on foot, is extremely important, and knowing how the mechanics works is a big part of that. So as you can see, I am moving to a slower gait or gear, and I am actually gaining stamina even though I'm still moving. This is extremely important. So I removed the armor, and you saw the impact it had on my speed. I'm going to go now and remove the bags. The bags need to be empty, of course, before I can do that. So I have quite a bit of weight in these bags. There is an interesting thing that's coming up, which you'll see. I'm just going to locate the butcher quickly and butcher these items, and then take the bags off. Okay, here we go. We'll just skip ahead. So the bags are empty. Now I can remove the bags, and you'll see the impact. As I said, I had a lot of weight in the bags. It was probably, just between 200 and 300 kilograms. The horse can generally carry only 550. So the bags are empty, and I'm going to remove them. So a curious thing is that even though the bags themselves weigh significantly less, a fraction of the weight of the items in the bags, having no items in the bags doesn't change the weight. So you could have, your full carry weight, 550 kilograms, and your speed will be exactly the same as if the bags were empty. But removing the bags themselves and reducing your weight by the 5 or so kilograms will impact the speed. So it's a little counterintuitive there, but that's how it works. Weight in general for the player also affects your speed, so it's similar for the horse. So there is a 4th gear, which is not commonly known, or gait, which is the gallop. Now, this is achieved by double tapping the forward movement key to initiate this burst. It lasts for a short duration, so it will expire, and it uses a considerable amount of stamina, as you can see. This is really useful for catching up to someone, if you need to finish off their horse, put them in mercy mode. It's also good to use when you're being chased. If another player who's chasing you sees you pull away, they, in some cases, will not pursue you. It can be useful for evading identification, with the way the loading works for the names and the character models. If you accelerate while you're passing a horse, the window of identification is so small that if you're moving very quickly past each other, they cannot even pick you up. So that's also pretty useful. Another thing to note is this fourth gear can be reached from any gear. So you don't have to be in third gear to move to fourth gear. You could be moving at a trot, for example, and go directly into the gallop, which is, again, good for certain situations when you're trying to quickly speed up. You will not go back down to a trot. You will go into third gear from fourth gear. So I'm going to put the armor and the bags back on now that the bags are empty, and show the speed of the gallop with an armored and bagged horse. Again, the armor weight varies and the horse type varies, so these numbers are not specifically meant to be indicators, just the difference between them, between the different gaits. As I said, I will be putting up a video shortly with the 5 horses and showing how they work, because they are different. In some gears, some of the horses do not use stem, and in others they do. So it's very important to have that information. But that's all for now. I hope this has been useful to everyone. And as always, if anyone has any questions or comments or ideas for future videos, leave it in the comments below. And again, I hope everyone's enjoying the game. It's going really well, thank God. Have a great gaming experience, and talk to you again soon.